Alright, howdy guys. This video, my name is James. In this video we're going to be diving into a frequency infused meditation. But before that, we're going to talk a little bit about the times that we are in. Okay, so again, using abilities that I've cultivated over the past 5 years, working with a teacher of mine, Masati, I'm basically able to tap into the frequency files behind this physical reality. Okay, believe it or not, but we are more frequencies than physical, right? We are more unseen coding than we are physical matter. Okay, you can look into quantum theory and things like that, and it'll give you an insight. And I'm not here to say I'm a scientist or like I'm not a scientist, right? Again, think about, people that you've met. Maybe you've met someone and they just immediately had a good vibe. You're like, oh, wow, I like this guy's vibe. Or they felt a little bit weird. They felt a little bit funny. Or you walked into a home that, maybe it looked really good, but, physically, but it just felt off. Okay, well, what is that? Frequencies, right? Some of you might call it energy, things like that. But again, beyond it all, it is, say, a coding. It's a frequency, right? That goes beyond the physicalness of this world. And it's not like hopefully that makes sense. So anyway, so I can basically tap into, say, the consciousness behind, you, right? You wouldn't even need to tell me anything about your life. And I could basically tell you, say, the patterns and the algorithms on why your life is the way it is. Okay, and then, in deeper sessions, help you actually shift that. So, but I can also do it at a global scale, right? And maybe you can feel it. Maybe some of you, and I'm curious if you guys, it'd be cool, just have a think about perhaps how you've been feeling lately. Because that's what we're going to be tapping into is, say, the consciousness of now. Yeah, what is happening right now? And you might hear some, airplanes flying and things like that. This mic picks up quite a lot, so forgive me for that. But again, stay here for the content. It's pretty awesome content. So the consciousness of the world, yeah, it's lately, and I kind of was feeling it a little bit. I'm like, interesting. Like there's this, say, demand on, at least observing within myself, there's this opportunity for myself, and maybe you guys have been feeling it, to be even more succinct with yourself, to be even more precise with who you are in space and time. Yeah, it's like old patterns may show up to basically saying, hey, like we're letting this go so you can become even more precise, in space and time. And what does that mean for you, being more precise in space and time? What does that ultimately mean for your life? Well, it means that you, depending on where you are on the journey, yes, some of you might be really gung-ho with it all and again, experiencing, say, the fruits of your labor. Okay, opportunities might just happen for you. And you don't even really try. You just, you live your day, and opportunities show up for you. Okay, or maybe it's a little bit more rough for you. Okay, and it's a bit rough, right? Because as you come into time, as you become even more precise, all of those things that were in your way, and being more precise is being brilliant. Yeah, you are a brilliant being that is materializing this physical world. Most of us, when we first started out as a kid, over time, we were already brilliant, but over time, we burdened ourselves. We adjusted our settings because we saw what was in front of us, our parents, society, even though they didn't do it really well. And let's just call it out. Again, I love my family, love my parents. Okay, and they would even say it. They didn't do it very well. Okay, yeah, they had lessons to learn, and they've come a long way now. But again, most people haven't done it very well. Okay, and it has nothing to do with the physicalness of it all. Okay, it has nothing to do with like, oh yeah, but you know, I've made millions of dollars and you know, I did it pretty well. It's like, well, yeah, you created wealth quite well, but let's have a look at some other things. You know, are you burdening yourself through the wealth? And if you're not, that's great. I'm not. Again, I have nothing against wealth. It's just an easy. It's an easy measuring tool. It's an easy, say, polarizing tool. Okay, but maybe you have all the success, but has it burdened you? Have you sacrificed yourself? Okay, or maybe the other way around. Maybe you're not successful, and are you sacrificing yourself? Are you burdening yourself? Maybe you're a really giving person, a really loving person, but you sacrifice yourself through that love. You sacrifice yourself through giving. You burden yourself by giving back, by being a good person, a good Samaritan, and you stay poor. Maybe it's that pattern. Either way, you know, when you become even more precise with yourself, you have to reformulate those patterns so that it's beneficial for you, to bring you back into a more, back into a more brilliant state of being, more brilliant coding, more brilliant formulas, more brilliant patterns, so you can reflect your brilliance here in the physical instead of burdening yourself and limiting yourself. Okay, so that's what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. Frequency healing, that's what it's all about. You know, it's all about coming into time and being even more precise with yourself so that you can reflect that brilliance that you already are here in the physical. Okay? So again, it's happening with the world, a lot of big shifts, and we'll kind of tap into that. So if you made it this far, we'll drop into a frequency session. So even in the recording, it'll still be beneficial for you. So just settling in, you know, find a place to sit or even stand. Or if you got this far, save it for later. You know, maybe you don't have 30 minutes, 20 minutes, save it for later. But just settling down and noticing where you are. Looking around the room. Noticing objects around you, the details of those objects. And again, there might be sound that the microphone picks up, airplane, vehicles. So if you do hear those sounds, notice where they're coming from. It's not about running away from those things. It's about noticing and pulling them into the meditation, pulling them into and using them as reference points. So taking that breath in, noticing what's around you, noticing the sounds around you, on my side. And then noticing what you can smell, taste, Noticing what you can touch. The temperature of the room on your skin. Clothes on your skin. As you ask yourself that question, how can I connect to my purest source even stronger? How can I connect to my most brilliant self even more? Noticing your breath. As you ask that question again, how can I connect to my purest brilliance? Again, my purest brilliance even more. So you notice what you're sitting on, standing on, lying down on. If you're familiar with the pedestal, go ahead with the pedestal or your checkerboard floor. And again, just noticing. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to figure that question out. You don't have to change the pedestal in your mind's eye. You don't have to, say, force yourself into a feeling. Simply notice what you're sitting on. As you notice what you notice. So you take that breath in, noticing your spine. So we just stay here for a little bit in silence. All you need to do is notice each vertebrae of your spine. You do that, and I'll be generating those frequencies on the back end to help you synchronize with the moment. Noticing your breath. Noticing your spine. each vertebrae of your spine. Noticing your breath. Noticing what's supporting you. Chair, floor, sofa, pedestal, if you're familiar. If not, that's all good. Again, noticing your breath as you notice what is supporting you. Taking that breath in through the nose, holding that breath. As you note your feet, helping you, say, stabilize. Some of you might feel destabilized, unstable, because you've always been unstable. So now you're seeing it, especially after this session. You'll start seeing how unstable you've really been. Taking that breath in, Taking that breath in, noticing your pelvis, bone structure, ankles, knees, pelvis, hips. Taking that breath in, noticing your feet, knees, pelvis, hip joint, spine, shoulder blades. Scanning through, observing as you notice your bone structure. That's all you need to do. Noticing your breath, noticing what's supporting you. Noticing your spine, sternum. And for those of you that can stay here, I highly recommend just hanging out. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just being here with yourself. it's now or much later or a little later. It's up to you. Taking control, taking back control. You can open up your eyes, looking at something unmoving, like a point on the wall, and then notice that point on the wall and the distance from that point to the point on your chest. And for those of you that would like to, give this video a like, a thumbs up, or share your experiences if you want, how this made you feel in the comments. In your own time. And again, if you feel like someone could benefit from this, feel free to share this video. And if you're not already, feel free to subscribe. Again, in your own time. Not now, just when you want to. And if you want to. Really nice job, and I'll see you on the next video.